Hi, I'm Eric. Welcome to this month's Access to the Arts. Coming up, conversation about civic theater, their first show of the year, also RAM, Pottery Palooza's coming up, and also Shakespeare in the Park, plus more. Welcome to Access to the Arts. Appreciate you spending some time with Access to the Arts. I'm Eric Marsh, having a chance to speak with Ryan Shaw, a Stage One Managing Director. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's been a while since we've had a chance to talk.
Yeah, pre-COVID, I think.
It has been a while since we've had a chance to talk. Yes, indeed. Talk to me about RCT during the summertime. Some people, for a long time, I think maybe it got very quiet around RCT during the summertime. That's not the case anymore. One of the things going on, you all are working with youth. Talk about your youth camps that you had this summer.
Yeah, so we every summer we do, well, when we can, have a great youth camp where we have students all the way from K through 12th grade. We split it up to 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the number of students we have interested. And we do an entire summer camp program where students come in and they'll learn songs, choreography, blocking. They work Monday through Friday, and then at the end of the week, we do a special performance for parents. And on average, we have about 60 kids per camp. Nice. So we have between 120 kids to 200 kids each summer that come join us in June for some theater fun.
When you all start that, how early do you open up the registration so people can kind of put a little circle or something on their calendar for next year?
Yeah, so usually we open early May, late April. They fill up really quickly, so most of the time within 2 weeks, the camps are full. So if you are interested, you definitely want to get in early. So mark that late April, early May on your calendar.
You all have your season opening up, and you actually get to direct the first show of the new season.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No, none at all. I just came off camp and then went right into Spongebob the Musical, which is...
Talk a little bit about what that's like. I mean, people are used to SpongeBob the cartoon.
Yeah.
Where does SpongeBob the Musical pick up and kind of run with that?
So the musical is very much an original story that have a lot of pieces and things from the cartoon that people will recognize, little moments and lines and things. But it's a storyline that revolves around SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy having to save Bikini Bottom from this Mount Humongous that's about to erupt and destroy the entire town. So it's the three of them working together to save the entire town of Bikini Bottom. And it's chock full of amazing songs. I would say that's probably the thing most people wouldn't expect is the list of artists that have come together to do the music for this. Each song is done by a different artist.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Musicals normally bring large casts. Talk about what your cast is like and kind of talk about some of your lead performers.
Sure. So this production has a cast of 52 people, which is a little larger than what we've had recently for what we call our main stage productions.
Right.
But it's filled with a lot of people who are veterans, some new people, a good mix actually of adults and students. Me being the youth program leader, I brought a lot of those students who recently graduated into this production, as well as some adults that have kind of taken a back seat the last couple of years. So it's a cast full of really, really talented people of all ages. Our leads are, two of our leads are former Stage 1 students of mine, one who just graduated this year, one who graduated 4 years ago, and then a dear friend of mine who is my age, in our mid-30s. So it's a nice span of age ranges in this cast.
Obviously, you have to tell people how to get tickets and when the production is.
Yes, so the SpongeBob is opening on August the 4th, which is a Thursday, which we're bringing back Thursday performances this year at RCT, which has been a first in a while. So they are the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. and then the following weekend, which is the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. So you can get tickets by going to rct.org, go rct.org, or calling our box office at 765-962-1816.
All right. Spongebob Musical coming to RCT. GoRCT.org is where you want to go for ticket information. Ryan, appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hello, I'm John Foss, Executive Director of Richmond Civic Theater. Founded in 1941, RCT is the premier live theater organization in Richmond, Indiana. Our productions are performed and produced locally just for you. Auditions are announced several times throughout the season, and we are always looking for new volunteers on and off stage. For more information about how you can get involved, visit our website at gorct.org and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Access to the Arts. I'm having a chance to spend some time with Monica Koshline from Richmond Symphony Orchestra. Busy.
So great to be forward-looking.
So year-round with you all.
It is. We do. We have at least one event a month as of late, and I like to push it out that way because it makes it manageable. But we're really excited to be a part of this community and giving back.
Yeah, and you all are, and seriously, every month. So August, near the end of this month, you all wrap up what has been, I think, a very nice sunset series.
Yeah, we've had 4 great events. Obviously, the 4th one. We've had 3 of the events so far. Our 4th event is on August 31st at Forest Hills. Always a delightful evening. We always seem to get great weather. We'll bring the woodwinds this year. We'll do winds on the green. We've done strings on the green, but this time it'll be winds on the green. We'll sit around on, really just one of the holes, and people are welcome. It's kid-friendly. It's age-friendly. We do need people to bring their own chairs, or blankets if they'd like to sit on the grass. It's just a delightful evening, just a free performance made possible by Three Rivers Wayne County Foundation and Better Homes and Gardens.
Starts at what time?
6 o'clock.
All right. then you all get into the season, and this season is an audition time
It is.
for for the finalists
Yeah.
for the new conductor. So kind of take us through what you're looking at there.
It's the continuation of a long search. I think this is pretty typical with symphonies, so I had to learn all of this, right? But it is typically a 2-year process where your conductor says, you know, hopefully I'm putting in one last season as opposed to I'm walking away today.
Right.
Where we spent a year seeking out and interviewing candidates, and we narrowed that down to 5 that we felt like were the best fits to lead the RSO into our next, I guess, history. And if you can believe it, in the 65 years that we've been incorporated, the RSO has only had 3 music directors in all of those years. So we've had great stability.
Well, your
and
last one was here
great
25
success.
years. So.
Guy Bordeaux was with us for 25 years. And so we're looking for next, and we don't know, because we've been Guy Bordeaux's orchestra for so long and brilliant at what he did, we tried to pick 5 people that we felt like would bring very different perspectives, very different future programming to the RSO, so that our audience has an opportunity to really see them. So they each received a very sizable budget with a full orchestra and a guest artist. And they went, the 5 finalists created their own programming, came up with their own guest artists that showcased who they were as a conductor. And so we'll jump off on September 17th. We'll invite Luke Frazier. He'll come and join us from Washington, D.C. Luke is certainly out of the bunch the one that is the most interested in, I'm trying to think of the word, and I'm really struggling right now, but he is the one that is most interested in entertainment aspect of the symphony.
Okay.
So he doesn't have one guest artist, he has 3. And
Wow.
so he will have a pianist, a vocalist, and a tap dancer that will accompany the RSO in 3 different pieces.
A tap dancer.
A tap dancer will perform to the Richmond Rag. That was
That's
written by May
different.
Ofterhide, who lived in Richmond for many years. And so just very different. The second candidate will come to us on October 15th, Jacob Joyce. He's the resident conductor of the Indianapolis Symphony, assistant conductor of the Pittsburgh Symphony. So he's really close, really right next door. And I've seen him conduct a few times and just love his artistry. So he's performed some really sizable pieces that'll really show off the orchestra.
Cool.
I'm probably taking a little bit long, but I just love my
You're
people.
good.
On November 19th, we'll invite Wesley Schultz. Wesley's joining us from the farthest away. He'll be joining us from Seattle, where he is the conductor of the Auburn Symphony. So we're excited. So in the first half of the season, we'll see 3 of those 5, and in the second half of the season, we'll invite 2 more. And hopefully in March, we'll know who our next conductor is.
That gets you 3 of the 5. That gets you to November. But we were just saying that the RSO does
We
something
do,
almost monthly, so
we do.
we head to the Christmas season.
In December, we actually have 2 events. We have part of the season concert series. We have a brass holiday concert for the first time in 25 years. We're having something Christmas that's not Nutcracker, so we're really excited. That'll be led by our principal horn, Darren Sorley, a brilliant conductor. And then we'll have our outside event right before that, the week before that, December 4th. We're returning with Flannel and Frost in the historic Richmond neighborhood, a free event, part of the community series.
That's busy.
So the symphony will have 7 concerts in the next season, and every one of those concerts will be conducted by a different conductor.
That sounds great. For people who need to connect, are hearing this and going, wow, this sounds interesting, how do they connect with the symphony?
RichmondSymphony.org is the best way. We're also available in the office daily 9 to 3, 765-966-5181.
The tired and very busy Monica Kochline. Monica, always appreciate the
Joy.
time.
Thank you so much, Eric. Hi, I'm Monica Kochline, Executive Director of your Richmond Symphony Orchestra. It is an honor for the RSO to be an integral part of the arts makeup of Richmond and enhance the quality of life of the region. The RSO has been fortunate to exist in a community that has been generous in supporting our efforts for 65 consecutive seasons. Through the pandemic, we have continued to expand our programming. The RSO thanks you for your continued patronage and support.
Welcome back to Access to the Arts. Appreciate the time. We're having a chance to connect with Lance Crow, Education Director of the Richmond Art Museum. Lance, it has been a minute since we've talked.
It has, yep. I'm glad to be back, though.
Yes,
Good to see
indeed.
you.
Let's start with the summer. I know we've got school starting here, if it hasn't already by the time people are seeing this. One of the things that you all were able to do this summer is some of your art classes, particularly for the youth, an art camp, actually.
Yes.
Glad to hear that happened. Talk a little bit about how that came off.
Yes, it went really well this year. We're happy to be able to offer multiple weeks again. So last year we were only able to do 1 week of camp. This year we're back to 3 weeks of camp, and we split it up into AM and PM groups, and it worked really well. We had tremendous response to the programs, and the kids had a lot of fun. I had 3 different teachers this year, so we had a lot of fresh ideas and fun projects for the students during that week of camp, and just really excited to be able to offer that programming to art-minded students in the region.
Talk about the ages that those camps connected with, and maybe even a little bit about what they were able to get done.
So that camp is kind of unique in that it's age 5 through age 13, and sometimes I get looks like, well, that seems like a big gap.
A wide range.
But it really works well because oftentimes there's like a mentor situation that happens within the camp, and a lot of the projects that are being completed in those camps are for a wide age range. So like, it comes off differently. There's a 5-year-old who does a project, and they'll only spend, they'll spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes on it.
Right.
But a 13-year-old doing that project could come up with just an incredible piece of art by the time they're finished with it. And so it provides our teacher with a interesting amount of flexibility, and if we get some older kids, it scales younger, the camp does, but if we get some older kids in, they kind of act as almost another helper, and they often enjoy that role. They get to create, but they also get to kind of engage with some of the younger students, so it works well.
Nice. Talk about your next exhibit that you've got coming up. Kathy Moore, I think, is having an exhibit starting in August.
Yes. So Kathy Moore is an Ohio artist, and she actually has won the Best of Show at the RAM annual exhibit 3 times now over the course of several years. And her exhibit is Quiet, Intimate Order. And it's about still life. It's a lot of still life work, and it's kind of interesting. We have a still life exhibit up now as we're recording by Alan Larkin, and he's a teacher from South Bend, and his work is a lot of still life, but it focuses on narrative and telling a story. And Kathy's work is a little different. It's still life, but it focuses on it pokes around at the small and the little things that are in our lives, and kind of trying to make sense of and put an order to those all of those little things in our life. And I think that it kind of speaks to the present as we're all trying to create order in our lives in this kind of chaotic moment that we're having right now. And it's an interesting exhibit. Very happy to have Kathy's work to be seen on a larger scale. Normally she enters 1 or 2 pieces in our annual exhibit every year, but this will give her a larger voice and the opportunity for more people to see what work she's creating. That show opens on August 6th, and then the 13th of August, the next weekend on the Saturday, will be the reception and artist talk.
And that will hang until early October, I believe.
Yes, correct.
Next event in September is one that everybody likes to flock to, at least a lot of people do. You're hanging out on the lawn out there with Pottery Palooza.
Yes. That's it's a community favorite. We have a lot of people who come to that. And once again, this year we'll be out on the lawn. Last year was the first year back in person, and so we're excited to be able to continue that, get out on the front lawn of the Art Museum. We'll have music, we'll have some food, we'll have various vendors of ceramics, functional pieces like plates and bowls and mugs and all of that kind of stuff. And then even sculptural work as well, if someone's looking for a really interesting handmade sculptural piece for a decorative object in their home. Normally we get about 30 potters, 25 to 30 potters, and we're on track for that again this year.
Good.
And these are all Indiana and Ohio potters. Many of them are local and regional people who are just very creative and continuing that ceramic tradition that's so well known in this area, with Byron Temple, ceramist in Centerville, and of course the Overbeck sisters in Cambridge City. So continuing just to shine a light on that art form in our area.
That date again?
That's going to be September 10th, and it's 10 to 4 on the front lawn of the Art Museum. If you drive past the high school, you won't be able to miss it, and it's free.
All right. Before I let you go, richmondartmuseum.org. Do I get that right?
Yes.
Is the website.
Yep.
I was rooting around. Talk a little bit about the artist coloring sheets that you all have up, because I had not seen that in my last kind of interaction with your website.
Yeah, so that's kind of a fun idea that we had when people weren't moving around as much, and we thought, what could we do to offer some art activities in the home for people? So I sent out some inquiries to some regional artists and local artists and said, do you guys have any interest in creating some coloring pages for us that we can put for free, and people can download them and color? And so there's some really intricate ones on there, and then there's some very simple ones. But the idea was just to make a simple art form available widely to people, and also to highlight some of our local artists who are really talented folks. So yeah, check that out. It's pretty fun. There's some great works on there for just a fun, kind of calming, relaxing session of coloring for you.
richmondartmuseum.org. Education, underneath that, it's art activities.
Yes.
That's where you'll find those. Lance, always good to talk to you.
Great to talk to you, Eric. Thanks.
With local BTV, it's easier than ever to view all that WCTV offers.
I can now stream local government meetings direct to my TV.
Now I can watch local programming right from my phone.
I can easily view recorded and live events on my computer.
With a few clicks on any device, you're ready to view WGTV Channel 11, WETV Channel 20, and WCTV Channel 21. With local BTV, you're able to stay entertained and informed.
Welcome back to In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WETV Channel 20. Appreciate you spending some time with us. We're having a chance to speak with Patrick Flick, Richmond Shakespeare Festival. Sir, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Shakespeare in the park. Elstro Plaza has been one of those places that you all have had a chance to use. In August, you've got Shakespeare coming back to the park. Talk a little bit about that.
We do. During the pandemic, we actually ceased producing our own productions and brought in touring organizations from nearby Shakespeare companies. I happen to be good friends with the folks in Cincinnati at Cincinnati Shakespeare Company, and also Kentucky Shakespeare in Louisville. And so in August, we are bringing in the touring production of Cincinnati Shakespeare Company's 12th Night, and we'll be doing that in Elstro Plaza on August 18th. And that will be a free production, and we usually have food trucks there.
Those are always a party.
Yeah, the food trucks will be there starting around 5:30, and we'll also have some beer and wine, and folks can just kick back and enjoy watching William Shakespeare's 12th Night in the park at Elstro Plaza, all for free.
Education has always been, I think, a part of you all's mission or what you all have tried to do, and you're bringing in a young man that will be doing a public performance, but also some teaching at the high school. Talk about that.
Devon Glover, a.k.a. the Sonnet Man, will be joining us here in Richmond from Chicago, which is his home base. And he'll be working with the, I believe, 9th and 10th grade at the high school here in Richmond. He'll be doing 2 workshops where he will share with the students his technique for rapping Shakespeare's sonnets. So setting Shakespeare's sonnets to rap, and he'll teach the kids how he goes about doing that. And then later in the afternoon, he'll be doing a performance for the entire high school of the Sonnet Man and Shakespeare's sonnets. And then on the 24th of September, Saturday, he'll be doing a public performance, and we're hoping to do that at the new Reed Center.
How has that interaction, when you all have been able to bring artists in and connect them with students at the school, how has that worked out for you? Talk about that a little bit.
It's worked out well, and one reason why it's so important for students to be familiar with Shakespeare, not only as something they read, but more importantly, as something that they experience, that they are able to get up and speak the words of Shakespeare. And actually, you know, when we bring in a company like Cincinnati Shakespeare, or most often it's Cincinnati Shakespeare, to work with the kids at the high school, they get them up on their feet, and they get them, you know, performing scenes, and so they're not just sitting at their desk reading Shakespeare, because there's nothing much drier than that.
Talk about, for folks who maybe are just finding out that there is Shakespeare in Richmond and Shakespeare in the Park, how do they connect with you all?
Well, we connect with them in a variety of ways. We try to do as much marketing as possible. A lot of that's through social media, because it's free mostly and effective. We do mailings. We do targeted mailings to people that we both have already on our mailing list, and we're hoping to augment that mailing list with some other forms of addresses. You know, you can buy those mailing lists and things like that. We do posters. We're hoping to do things like this here at the television station, and we'll be doing some radio and billboard advertising this year as well.
All right, so mark your calendar. It is coming up on the 18th in Elstro Plaza. It is free. It is 12th night Cincinnati Shakespeare coming in to work with Richmond Shakespeare Festival. Appreciate the time, Patrick.
Sure, glad to do it.
Thanks for watching this month's Access to the Arts. I appreciate all my guests taking the time to come into the studio and update you on what's happening with the arts organizations. As always, I wish you well.